me to be standing here today. I live in New York now, but I'm actually a Massachusetts girl. I'm a Berkshire County girl. Anybody? Yes. And just because I'm from Massachusetts has absolutely nothing to do with why there are 10% of people are nothing whatsoever. So Massachusetts is my home, but it's also Inc. magazine's birthplace. Inc. is now at 7 World Trade Center in New York, but Inc. started its life in 1981 on Commercial Wharf right here. And I got my first job at Inc., believe it or not, in 1983, before who was born and who was not born in 1983. Raise your hand.
Born that year.
Okay, so I got my first job at Inc. in 1983, and I had a little apartment down here on Beacon in Berkeley, and every morning I would walk to work. I'd walk across the Boston Common and through Quincy Market and down to Commercial Wharf, which was the most incredibly cool place to work ever. I haven't had a real job since then, which is a good thing because there's nothing else could compare. So back then, I have to tell you, when I got this first job at Inc. as a research reporter, I've had several friends who said to me, "Why are you writing about entrepreneurs when no one cares about entrepreneurs?" Well, it seems pretty amazing to say that, right? And to even think that, but I will tell you that back then, people were just beginning to care. People were just beginning to get that entrepreneurs are the backbone of our economy. And we would see it in the people we covered in the magazine, like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Anita Roddick, who founded the Body Shop. We're suddenly finding their faces on Time and Newsweek and into the mainstream press because people were realizing that other people were finding out what we had known all along, namely that this was a pretty amazing group of people. The reason I mention this is because Inc. sort of grew up with you guys. When in 1981, 1982, 1983, when the magazine was first getting its legs, you guys are barely even walking. Maybe some of you weren't even born. But by the time you reached the age of reason, you took for granted that it was cool to be an entrepreneur. So you were the first generation to grow up with the assumption that being an entrepreneur is cool and life-changing and a really, really excellent career choice. So people like to describe you as digital natives, but I like to describe you also as entrepreneurial natives. So you're a very special generation to us at the magazine because we kind of grew up along with you. You've also put your own sort of special spin on entrepreneurship. It's one of the things I talk about in the book, and that I'll talk a little bit about tonight. Just look at the companies that we're honoring here. I mean, the Her Campus girls have started an online community specifically for people in their own generation, college women. Second Glass is connecting a very mature industry, the wine industry, with a whole new group of young consumers that frankly the wine industry doesn't have a clue as to how to reach these people, but guess what, Morgan and Tyler do. And there are lots of companies that are doing the same thing, sort of making this, being a bridge between old industries and new consumers. Dan Schawbel he is like the personal branding voice of his generation. I mean, this market didn't exist before he created it, and I think he's doing a great job of teaching people in your own generation and people in even my generation about how important it is to sort of care about and tend your personal brand online. The thing that I like to remind people is that even though we have really cool tech companies on the list, like Postras and Mint.com and
Foursquare.
What?
Foursquare.
Thank you, Foursquare, exactly. Thank you. That young entrepreneurship is not all about tech companies. We also have like a pickle company on the list, and we have a guy in Scotland who makes jam using his grandma's recipe. So these entrepreneurs, these young entrepreneurs, are starting businesses in every industry imaginable. And The other thing that I want to mention is that this is a generation that really and truly wants to change the world. What I found when I wrote my book, I surveyed the people that I interviewed at the end and asked how many would say that their companies had a social mission. 60% said yes. So this is a generation of entrepreneurs that are really interested in giving back. Not in the sort of old generation way, which said, I'm going to make my money and, sort of make my company successful, and then I'll give back. This generation of young people is starting to give back from the very beginning, whether it's donating a percentage of their profits to a charity or doing pro bono work. In fact, if you go on 30 Under 30 on Inc.com's website, you'll see there's a whole slideshow about the ways in which this generation of young entrepreneurs is sort of reaching out to the wide world to try to make it a better place. And so, in closing, I'm not going to take up a lot of time because we all want to eat, drink, and be merry. But again, I just want to say that this generation, you're very important to Inc. You're very important to your country because you are the ones who are building the companies that are going to sort of pull us out of the recession and help make yourselves, make these companies economically viable and sustainable so that hopefully we don't get into the terrible fix that you won't get us into the terrible fix that we got you into. How does that sound? So we celebrate you.